Like we said before, remember? Ilav alal, cause and effect. The intellect gives birth to emotions. Hare, behold. As soon as I go a little, if I'm going too fast, tell me, okay? Hare, behold. Hitkalut, the revelation. Hamidot, of the emotions. La'acher is after hitalmut, the hiding, hamochin, of the intellect. Okay, let's look at this. What's he saying? Emotions can only be revealed when your intellect is concealed. Right? Emotions are only revealed when your emotions, when your intellect is concealed. What does that mean? Here you have a person that is, let's take a simple example. A simple example. A businessman, right? A businessman, or a businessman, or let me think. Maybe I can find a better example. A better example. Good. Oh, wait, maybe that's a businessman. A businessman. He's sitting and he's working and he's thinking. He's got the stock market. He's trying to figure out which stocks to put in, how the market is going, which thing to invest in, and he's working and he's working and he's working and he's working, and suddenly he makes a big business deal, and he wins $100 million, right? $100 million. So I'm not thinking of a good example, but this is the best one I can think of right now. So all the time he's been working and he's thinking about how to do this and how to work on all this, right? And then he gets the money. Now he knows there's times when a person makes a lot of money, but the money never gets to him. All of a sudden the taxes take it away, or the stock market falls before the money gets to him, or his partner wants to take it, or all sorts of things can happen in the middle. So all the time he's thinking and he's thinking and thinking about how can I finally get the money? How can I finally get the money? And then they tell him, okay, you've got it. You know, it's in your bank. It's in your bank. So he's thinking, yeah, it really is. It's in the bank. He checks it up. Okay, then all of a sudden he gets happy. When does he get happy? When his mind stops working. When his mind stops working, right? In other words, he realizes. They say you got more money. You thought you were going to get $100 million. You got $500 million. He's thinking about, is it true? Yes, it is. And he starts to. And people are asking him questions. They come on the television and they're asking him questions. You know, how was it? All this. And as soon as he stops thinking about it, right, then he can have tremendous emotions. He can have tremendous emotions about it. But first of all, he has to stop thinking. It has to, what they call, sink in. It sinks into his heart, right? It sinks into his heart that this good news, I got it. Then all of a sudden, when it passes the stage of intellect, it's not that, you know, I, Joe Barnes, won $5 million. I'm just another person. And I won. Somebody had to win, and I won. All of a sudden, it sinks in. Hey, it's me. I got the money. Wow, he's happy. Is that right? Or, God forbid, the same thing with opposite. With opposite. A person hears bad news, right? God forbid something happened. His business burned down and something like that. So he's thinking about what he's going to do, what's he going to do. And all of a sudden, it sinks in. Wow, this is me. It happened to me. Right? This is my father, it's my business, my mother, my this. It happened to me. In other words, emotions only come when the intellect stops working. Right? It's an outcome of the intellect. Emotions are an outcome of the intellect, but the emotions only really kick in when you feel an emotion is when the intellect stops. The intellect did its job, it awakened the emotions. As soon as it touches you, right, it leaves your head stops working, and it touches you, then you have emotions. Right? You have emotions. There's people like years, I remember my grandmother, years after my grandfather passed away, right? She sat down once at her house and she said, you know what? I never really cried for my husband. Never really cried. And she just burst out crying. But I mean, all the time, her mind was working. You know, she had to take care of the funeral, she had to do this, and then there was the house, and then she did this. You know, and how to do it, and talking to other ladies that their husbands passed away. And her mind was all of a sudden, one time she sat down, and it just sunk in. all the time that she was with him, all that this man was a very nice man, a very good man, and she loved him and everything, but they were always busy and the kids were always around and there were other things going on and he was always working on this, and all of a sudden it sunk in. Her mind stopped working, right? It stopped working the thinking, and all of a sudden the emotions came in. Oh, she really loved this man. She had emotions. And so it is also the other way. Sometimes a person can get all sorts of good things and they make a big dinner for him, and the man stands up in front of everyone and he says, I'm really thankful, and I'm thankful for everything that God has done for me. He starts crying and weeping, right? He never really sunk in. He was always, involved. His mind was always involved. He was always thinking about all sorts of things, and he realized he had money, but he was thinking what I'm going to do with the money and how I'm going to make the money, and my kids got married, where are they going to live and where they're going to... All of a sudden it sinks in. Hey, you know what happened? It was miracles. I got this amazing good... It just sunk in. So that's what the Rebbe says. Usually, the way it works is that the emotions are only when the intellect stops. Only when the intellect stops. And also, it's the other way around. Sometimes you can stop your emotions by means of using intellect. Right? If people would use their minds, no one would ever have road rage. There would never be such a thing. You know what road rage is? No, there would never be such a thing. Guy cuts me off, right? A person, if you could just think of that second, 1 second. Oh, so somebody cut me off. What am I going to do? If I jump out, maybe the guy's going to kill me. Not only that, what am I going to do? Teach him a lesson, right? If I can honk the horn at him. I can tell him that he did something wrong. Not only that, if I start screaming, I'm going to get dirty, right? If I roll down the window, I say, you cut me off. It could be that it'll be better. It could be the other way. For sure, if I yell at him, it's not going to do any good. But people don't use their minds. He cut me off. That's it, right? Get out the gun. He's angry. It could kill somebody. That happens all the time. Why? Because people don't use their minds. If people use their minds, that's the big thing with these addictions also. If people use their minds, then they don't get addicted, or they can stop addictions. The problem is people don't use their minds. They use their emotions. So the Rebbe says, usually when intellect is revealed, emotions aren't revealed. Shekol zaman, kanoda, like it's known. Shekol zaman, that all the time. Shamochin, that your mind, hein, is begilui, revealed. Efshar, it is impossible, lihiyot, to be hamida, emotion. Ki'im, but rather, la'achar, after, shemit almim, there is hidden, hamochin, your thoughts, your ideas, azai, then, and it's only when your mind stops working, azai, then, who is holedes, the birth, hamidos, of the emotions. That's generally speaking. But now the Rebbe says that's talking about only the animal soul. But zeu, this is bechitzoniat alev, only in the outside of your heart. What do you mean the outside of your heart? Personality things, egotistically things, if you want to call it human things, animalistic things. Shamidos, the emotions, and they are midos murgeshes. Then we're talking about the outside of your heart, and there was your personality, your egotistical heart. In that case, your emotions are, the main thing of emotions is feeling, that you feel. Excitement. Okay, you with me? Moshe. Yep. Midos murgeshot means felt, to be felt, to have feelings, sensed. Lochen, therefore, efshar, it is impossible, shiyiyu, that there can be midos, emotions, calls a man all the time, shahamochin, that your intellect, begilo, is revealed. Also, emotions are turbulent, and intellect is calm. It's calm. All the time your mind is working, you're calm. Right? When your mind stops working, then you can start being turbulent. But it's difficult to have both of them at the same time. But that's one of the big things of like soldiers, right? They teach you to think in the middle of battle, or people who are in sports, to think automatically. You can't use your mind. If you use your mind, then you become confused in action. Mind requires calmness. It requires calmness. Emotions are turbulent. That's in the outside, in your outside personality, in your natural personality. But the inside of your heart, that's the godly part of your heart. And they are midos, these are emotions, habilti murgashot, that are not felt. These are the emotions for God. Umeir, and there shines, bohem in them. Call gilui ha'or, all of the revelation of the light, shebamoach, in the brain.
So from Vav, and
shines in them. Call gilui ha'or, all the revealed light, and those all of the truth. All of the revealed truth, the light, shebamoach, which is in the brain. In other words, what is the inside emotions? The godly soul is true. It deals only with truth. Truthfully, everybody should be excited about God. But it's not an emotional, external type of happening that's happening to me. It's something outside of me. I won the money. I didn't have it, and now I do have it. The inside of the soul shows something you always have. It's really you. But the way it works is, first of all, you have to realize it in your mind. God exists. God's creating me. God understands. Then you realize it. Then afterwards, you start to think about it. You understand it. And then afterwards, it can come into your emotions. But all you're doing is revealing the truth. You're revealing something that's already there. Va'gilui, the revelation of the level of Eitan, which we said Eitan is the essence of your soul. It's something that's already there. It's truth. Who is Lamaila Yoter, is even higher, more. Vahu, and it is Yoter, it's even higher, Mibechinat, than a level of Bilti Murgash, that is not felt, to Penimius Alev, of the inside of the heart. And this level of Eitan, Hu Inyan, is the topic of Ta'alumat Lev. The, how do you say, if you want to call it, the mystery of the heart. This is higher than the, how do you say, the emotions that are not felt. But Ta'alumat means like the mystery, or the ultimate depth of the heart.
Can you translate that line again?
Okay, so we have three levels. We have the emotions of, first of all, we have the outside of the heart. The outside of the heart has intellect and emotions. That's like the animal soul. Then we have the inside of the heart. The inside of the heart also has intellect and emotions. But the inside of the heart can feel God. It can get excited about God. The inside of the heart does not have to have this, this qualification that the intellect has to be hidden in order for the emotions to come. There can be both at the same time. You can have emotions with intellect at the same time. Why? Because the emotions are emotions that are not felt. They're the deepest essence of your heart. The deepest essence of your heart, your connection to God. It's something that you do not feel. It's too deep to feel. It's too real to feel. And those are inspired. That's what's called the inside of the heart. The inside of the heart is inspired by the awareness of God. And that can happen at the same time. Says the Rebbe, but there's even something deeper. There's even something deeper than that. And that's this level of Eitan. The level of Eitan, that inspires not just the deepness of the godly soul that's not felt, it reveals the, how do you say, the mystery, the hidden, ultimate hiddenness of the heart. Even deeper than the part of the heart that's not felt. So we have like three levels of the heart. We have the external heart, and we have two levels of the internal heart. One level is the level that's not felt, and the other one is called the ta'aluma, the mystery, the ultimate depth of the heart. Of the heart. That's inspired by Chokhmah, right? Inspired by Chokhmah.
I'm very confused by this Eitan, this.
Eitan is another name for Chokhmah.
Okay. River of Eitan? Why a river?
So why a river? Because this Chokhmah comes down, like a river. And it comes down into your emotions. It comes down into your emotions. So what's the Rebbe saying? The Rebbe is saying that if a person really is negated to God, right, is negated to God, So on one hand, very nice, he's negated, he's a religious person. But it could be that that person is negated to God. All the time he's in his house, or he's in the Beis HaMidrash, he's in the synagogue, he's in the place of learning, negated to God. They say that's something like Yosef's brothers. The brothers of Yosef, they had to be shepherds because they were totally negated to God, but they couldn't bear disturbances. They couldn't bear, they had to be undisturbed. So they were all shepherds, so they could go right to the brothers of Yosef, the sons of Jacob. They had to be shepherds out in this. They could sit there and think about God and different levels of God. Tremendously deep people, like the mystery man who sits in a mountain or something like that, and they just think all the time about the mysteries of the world and this. That's where they were, yes, very, very high level. But they couldn't bring it into their emotions. That's why they were amazed when they saw Joseph, that their brother Joseph, that he was the king of Egypt, and he was dealing with all sorts of people, all sorts of difficult situations, and he was always connected to God. They didn't know there was existed such a thing like that. But that's what the Rebbe is demanding from us. So again, you have what's called the outside of your heart. That's how you react to normal things in the world. Then you have what's called the inside of your heart. Then the unfelt part of your heart. That's your connection to God. But then you have what's called the depth of the heart. The depth of the heart. That's connected to this level of Eitan. That's this level. So that's when a person, that's like Joseph. That's like Yosef Atzadik. That he was so connected to God that it affected the total inside of his heart. The depth of his heart was connected to God. And that, of course, affected the outside of his heart as well. You understand a little bit? Understand? It's possible for a person to come into the yeshiva and to put on all the clothes with the beard, with everything, and to learn the Torah and everything like that, but the inside of his heart, it's still connected to himself. Still connected to himself. He's doing everything he does, somehow or other, it's only for me. Right? This is what I want. It could be maybe in the beginning of the road that he had a little spark where he said, I don't care what anybody thinks. I am going to be a good Jew. I'm going to be... It could be. It could be that he had that spark. But afterwards, he gets all confused. He starts to think about himself all the time. And this person I don't like, and this person I do like. And he gets mad once in a while. He gets angry. And he gets depressed once in a while. He gets these things once in a while. Good. That happens. It can happen. But what it is, those things that happen as a sign that you got a lot of work to do. That you have to connect the inside of your heart. Even the hidden part of your heart, you have to connect it to God. And that's what this Maamar is about. That's what it's talking about. You have to connect the inside of your Jewish soul, the deepest part of the Jewish soul, to this level of Eitan. Right? How do you do that? We'll see. Okay, that's what we got up to today. God willing, tomorrow we'll continue.